If I picked up everyone's drinks, I could finally rest, but not yet. I had to keep going. Ever since a car accident during my second year of high school, the left side of my body hadn't worked right. I was on my way to a softball game when it happened. I don't remember much, but that day changed everything. Rehab helped me walk again, but my left side stayed weak. I had to start using a cane. It felt strange needing one at such a young age, but eventually, I accepted it and learned how to manage. After buying the drinks, I went back to where I thought my family would be, but they were gone. I looked around and finally spotted them, already halfway through airport security. My dad had the tickets. If he went through without me, I'd miss the flight, so I called him. He answered casually, "Oh, I forgot about you, just drink what you bought and go home whenever." Just like that, they left me behind. It wasn't a surprise. I'd always been the one they forgot, especially after my accident. My parents and sister, Arlette, often made jokes about how calm I'd become. Once, they even said, "Maybe the accident messed with your brain." After the crash, I changed. I wasn't angry like before. I felt disconnected, like life was happening far away from me. The doctor said it was trauma, but I didn't really understand. I knew I'd never play softball again, the sport I once loved, but I didn't cry or get upset. I just thought, so, what now? So when I got left behind at the airport, I didn't panic. I went to the airline counter. The staff were helpful and got me on the next flight. I messaged the hotel to explain the delay and waited calmly at the gate. Then my phone started ringing non-stop, over 100 missed calls. Even Arlette, who rarely contacted me, had called. Confused, I called my dad. "Where are you? You didn't go home, right?" "Good, the hotel's charging us more than expected, and they said it's related to you somehow. Everything's a mess, please come quickly." I said I'd come after grabbing my luggage. As I walked to the taxi stand, I wondered why the same dad who forgot about me was suddenly desperate for my help. The taxi driver helped with my bags. "Royal Bayside Hotel, please," I told him. He asked if I was alone. Yes, I was supposed to travel with my family, but things didn't go as planned. He nodded. "That sounds rough." I smiled. "It's fine, I'm not going to clean up their mess." At that point, explaining everything felt pointless. I leaned back, ready for what came next. Growing up, I was raised in a strict home. My dad, a former softball pro, constantly pushed me to be better than him. "You're a natural, you'll be greater than me," he'd say at school events. My mom echoed him but criticized my grades. "You got your dad's athletic skills but none of my brains." They expected me to succeed in sports no matter what. My entire schedule, school, weekends, holidays, was built around softball. I didn't have a say. As a kid, I thought it was normal. I worked hard to make them proud, but they rarely praised me. I was always practicing or training. At home, the pressure was intense. By middle school, I was always angry. I argued with Arlette constantly. She'd play around while I practiced, and I hated it. My dad was strict. If I had a bad game, he'd get angry. "You think you're so good? Don't act proud when you play like that." And if I talked back, he'd hit me. Our home wasn't peaceful. I had no freedom, just their expectations. Still, I obeyed, thinking it was my duty. I followed every rule, but I was more like a machine than a person. Then came the accident. A truck hit me while I crossed the street on my bike. It was a miracle I survived. I couldn't play softball anymore, but I didn't feel sad. I just felt nothing. While I recovered, I overheard my parents. "She's done," my dad said, "but Arlette can take over. She's good at everything." Hearing that broke something in me. They had given up on me so quickly. That's when I realized, they didn't love me for me, they loved who they wanted me to be. After the accident, they put all their pressure on Arlette. I felt bad for her, but there was nothing I could do. Back to the present, the taxi arrived at the hotel. The driver helped me with my bags. "Need help getting inside?" he asked kindly. "I've got it, thanks," I replied. As I entered the hotel, I heard, "Sis, you made it." It was Arlette, smiling and running over. "Dad's the worst. Don't worry about missing the flight. I'm just glad you're here. Aren't you tired?" Their faces looked familiar, but they felt like strangers. Their kindness didn't seem real. At the front desk, the hotel manager, Walker Perry, greeted me warmly. "Miss Flora, Welcome, let me know if you need anything. I couldn't trouble you, I said politely. Walker mentioned his son, Jacob, who had arrived a day earlier. Jacob was excited to see you. He insisted on coming when he heard you'd be here. Jacob and I had been friends and teammates years ago. Hearing that brought a small smile. At least some people were genuinely happy I was there. Not many people knew, but I had helped out a bit with managing the hotel too. Even when I was stuck in the hospital and couldn't move, Jacob came to see me every day. He was a true friend, always kind, always treating me the same. Even after the doctors said I'd never play softball again, he stayed by my side. During rehab, he'd often say, "If you need anything, just let me know, I've got your back." He didn't just support me, he also shared his own worries. One day, he told me his dad's hotel, managed by my father, was having problems. I couldn't move much then, but out of boredom, I started studying. I picked up books about business and marketing. Jacob noticed quickly. "Are you comparing yourself to your dad?" he asked. He was always strangely good at reading people. "Maybe," I replied. "I've been reading up on marketing." "What's marketing?" he asked. I gave a simple answer. "It's like getting picked for the team. You have to show why you're valuable." Jacob then said I should talk directly to his dad once I got better. "I don't get all this business stuff, and I'm not great at explaining. Just talk to him yourself." That's how I met Walker, Jacob's father, after I left the hospital. Even though I was still healing, Walker and I had a lot of talks about how to improve the hotel. It worked. Soon the hotel was doing better, gaining attention online and getting more guests. "You have great ideas for someone so young," Walker would say. "Thank you." He even invited me to visit. "Once you're better, please come see the hotel." "I plan to," I said, smiling, but I noticed he looked a little worried. Visiting the hotel became my goal. It gave me something to focus on while I recovered. Slowly, I got stronger. I could walk short distances without help. When I finally arrived, Walker didn't take me to a guest room right away. He brought me to his office. "There's something I need to confirm," he said. My bags were sent to my room by the front desk staff. The hotel felt fancy and unfamiliar, but I also felt proud. I had helped build something here. The room was cozy, not as tense as I expected after everything. Walker sat me down and asked about the confusing story my family had told him. "I could let it go," I said casually. "What do you mean?" he asked. "They told me to go get drinks." I walked slower, so by the time I got back, they had already gone through security. Walker looked serious. "That's convenient." "They said it was to save time," I added. Then Walker turned to them. "You know you can't go through security without a ticket, right?" My father stumbled. "I thought I gave her the ticket. I must have forgotten." Walker wasn't buying it. "It's strange," he said, "how your attitude changed once you found out who Flora is to us. Earlier, you were pretty demanding with the front desk staff." "Well, about that," my dad began. Walker cut in. "Your daughter helped transform this hotel into an exclusive club. New members usually pay $32,000 to join." "That's not what we were told," my mother said quietly. I spoke up, calmly but firmly. "It's hard to believe parents could treat their child this way, especially after everything she's overcome." My dad snapped back. "That's a family matter, not your concern." Walker nodded. "I understand. Still, I felt it was important to be honest." Then he looked at my family and said firmly, "The special membership was a thank you for Flora's help. It was meant only for her. Your behavior doesn't match the values we hold here." He ended with, "I must ask you to leave. Flora will remain our guest. Please don't return." Quietly but efficiently, security arrived and escorted my family out. Once they were gone, Walker turned to me and said, "I hope you'll accept our apology. We won't stand for disrespect here." I gave a small laugh. "It's okay, I'm not surprised." He looked curious. "So, what does this all mean for you?" I thought for a moment, then smiled. "It means I'm free. Their actions don't hurt anymore. Being with or without them doesn't change how I feel. I think I'm finally ready to live my life on my own, after a little rest here. Of course,